Alright, so let's talk about the majority element too. So you're given an integer array of size of n, and then you have to find the element that appears more than n over 3 times. So this question is supposed to be like the most two element inside a nums array. So if this is n over 2, this should be easy. So just count the most frequency one in the nums array. But in this question is n over 3. So there are at most two elements which appears more than n over 3 times inside the array, right? So for example, 3, 2, 3, right? So the 3 definitely appears the most time. So it should be what? 2 over 3, which is already n over 3, right? And again, like for the 2, this is 1 over 3, and for this one, this is not more than n over 3. You have to more than n over 3, right? So this is pretty much it, right? So again, for the solution, you probably just have to traverse the nums array and then just keep track of the current maximum and the current second maximum for the nums array. And then if you find out there's a number that is not the first maximum, that is not the first maximum frequency number or second maximum frequency number, then you just decrement it, right? If the first maximum number is 0 and the second maximum is 1, the integer 1, and then somehow the array is what? 2. So once this number is not equal to the first and second maximum frequency, you just decrement by 1. And then if the maximum frequency is equal to what? Is equal to 0, then you know this number is no longer the maximum number, and then you just have to what? Update your maximum integer, right? So again, I would say it's better to code. So again, you have the integer what? Let me say x equal to null by default, y equal to null by default, and x counts for the frequency for x, y counts for the frequency for y, right? So x, y represent the first two elements, the most frequency one inside the array, and then I traverse the nums array. So if the nums are equals to x, so if the integer is already equal to the maximum number, then I will just keep track of the x count. And then again, if you have the if you see the second maximum number, then you just say y counts, right? Plus. Alright, so now what if x is equal to null, right? Then the first integer you don't have, the first integer you don't access the first and second if else statement. So we can say else if x counts equal to 0, right? If the x count is equal to 0, then we know that we need to update the x, right? So x equal to num, and also we need to increment by 1. This is because the current integer should be the first frequency one. The frequency nums equal to 1 for the first maximum number, right? And then else if y counts equal to 0, this is going to be exactly the same thing. Y equal to num, and then y counts equal to 1. And then everything else, like if the num is not equal to it's not equal to the x, it's not equal to the y, and also the x count is not equal to 0, y count is not equal to 0, then which means there's a number that is not in the nums array. So I will just decrement the x count and y count. So I will just have to know what is the current maximum, the top two maximum number inside a nums array. And then afterward, I know there are two most frequency one inside a nums array, but I need to what? I need to recount num. Recount the frequency again. This is because I will decrement somehow before and after inside the array, right? So I want to know what is the exact frequency. So I will say x count equal to 0, y count equal to 0, right? Now we'll traverse a nums array. So what is exact nums? The frequency for the x count and y count. So I can be able to calculate the n over 3, right? So if num is actually equal to x, right? So x count plus. And then else if num is actually equal to y count plus, right? And then I need to have a list of integer, right? For the return value. I'm going to call result. Return results. So again, so if the x count, if the frequency is which is more than what? Num star length over 3, which is more than what? 1 over 3 times inside a nums array. I would just result.add. You need to add an x, right? And then again for the y count, which is more than nums length over 3. You need to what? Result.add a y, right? So everything else you just return a result. So this should be the solution. So okay, so here's a problem. I'm using an integer and I'm using an int right over here. So this is not allowed. So you just say integer for both. It doesn't matter that you use the int. And I made a typo, 24 count. And here we go. So let's submit. Alright, let's talk about the time and space. Well, the space is constant, right? You don't allocate any space. Like this is what this is pretty much like constant. And then for the time, this is definitely all of n representative of the nums, right? This is all of n, right? And this is the solution, and I will see you next time. Bye.